रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी वयस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली. The topic for this morning is peace. You know, peace is the most important need of a society. Without peace, there is no social harmony. Without peace, there is no development, no progress. So peace is the base of all kind of goodness. We have to find out the formula of peace. According to my study, this question bothered every mind in every age. In every time, people were searching and studying how to establish peace. So according to my study, there are perhaps 6 models of peace. Maybe there are some other models, but basically there are 6 models of peace. The first model recorded in the history was adopted by Romans. You know, Roman Empire based in Rome reigned the world up to 2000 years. The longest period perhaps. So Romans adopted a formula of peace which is known in history as Pax Romana. Pax was the name of God of peace in Roman culture. So they adopted their peace formula in the name of their peace god. So it is known in the history as Pax Romana. Now, what was this formula? This formula was completely based on force. You know, Romans were believing in violence. According to them, arm was only source of power and strength. So they wanted to establish peace by the arm, by political force. This was the Pax Romana. I think obviously they were successful in establishing peace, although it was established by force and there was no freedom. There was no freedom. So due to this, there was no intellectual development during Roman Empire. You know, although Roman Empire lasted up to 2000 years, but there was no scientific progress. There was peace, but there was no progress in that system. So although they successfully established peace, but at the cost of abolishing freedom. So I don't think that it was a model for the rest of the world. It was only helpful to establish their empire. By this formula, they were able to make people their political slave. But at the same time, in that period, there was no scientific progress. This was the Pax Romana. Then the second model is Pax. The second model is the American model that is called Pax Americana. When Americans became superpower, they tried to establish peace in international affairs. What was the formula of American people? They wanted to establish peace again by force, although it was somewhat different from that of Romans. You know, Americans initially tried to engage people in dialogue, political dialogue, negotiation. But when negotiation failed, they tried to establish some compulsions, economic compulsion and political compulsion. And if this kind of compulsion failed, they tried to drop bomb, like Japan and Iraq. They dropped two atomic bomb in Japan for establishing peace. Although there was peace in Japan, but by establishing peace, they destroyed two largest cities of Japan, that is Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Then they wanted to establish peace in Iraq, and again their bombardment destroyed Iraq. And still there is no progress in Iraq. So, American model or Peace Americana was not a perfect model. Maybe it was in favor of American supremacy. Maybe it was helpful to establish, to maintain Americans as superpower in the world politics. But it was it gave negative result as far as the other nations are concerned. It is this reason that now Americans are, now people all over the world hate Americans, especially Muslim countries. If you travel Muslim countries, you will hear that everywhere Muslims are saying that America is number one enemy of Islam. America adul Islam raqam wahid. So although they tried to establish peace, and in some sense they achieved,